Wrestling is Real podcast because wrestling needs us. Brought to you by KingofAmazon.com. Go to KingofAmazon.com when you do your shopping for Amazon to help the King of Podcasts. Shop for Amazon at KingofAmazon.com.
Been going through one hell of a week here on the Wrestling is Real podcast. Hello, everybody. King of Podcasts here with you for another Wednesday. How many days are we away from WrestleMania? Man, I'm not even keeping up too much. It's not much of a big deal that WrestleMania is on the way. But we're going to talk about that tonight here on the program. 38 days until WrestleMania 36. Are we excited? Excited about Super Showdown? Elimination Chamber? Yeah. No, not really. But we're going to talk about the scrambling of plans right now by the WWE to try to get WrestleMania on track to be something that people want to go and watch and be a part of and enjoy. That might come away with an actual WrestleMania moment. How about that? But there's not much you can do with WrestleMania when you have no Edge, no Brock Lesnar to speak of, which are going to include of two matches. No John Cena, who's going to be part of a match. No Goldberg, who's supposed to be part of a match. No AJ Styles, who's supposed to be part of a match. Well, Goldberg is back now, but I'm saying, look at how many names you have that are possibly going to be at WrestleMania wrestling, but they're not even there. So we're going to see them all at the very end after like Elimination Chamber, and they're going to cram them all in at the end. And that's the build for WrestleMania, because that's the way WrestleMania is built every year now. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but I've had a hell of a week. I came back from 2 days of a conference I had to work at, the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference, which is very interesting. The Fontainebleau Hotel. Food spread was nice. The conference was not that bad. Kind of intimate. A few thousand people, they said, were there. There for CannabisRadio.com. And, hey, doing my thing. Recorded about 30 interviews with the radio station, and it was really busy. I did a few myself. So take a look for them if you want to listen to me doing the talk about cannabis. You can find it on the Grassroots Marketing channel. You can find it under podcast. Look for Grassroots Marketing anywhere you find podcasts, including where you find this podcast. And you can find it at CannabisRadio.com. Look for there. And also I do a show called Blunt Business. If you want to hear me host the show there, talk about the business of cannabis, feel free. CannabisRadio.com. And hit me up, Brasco, BRASCO, at CannabisRadio.com. That's the name I use on the air over there. And you can follow me there, and you can make comments and tell me what you think of the show there. Rate and review, just like you should this program, okay? So had that to worry about. And then come home. I remember today I wanted to go get a pot of, I tried McDonald's coffee today, the McCafe. Burned my mouth. How hot that coffee is, my God. That was crazy. And while I was down in Miami, by the way, before I came back, last night, I got to go eat at Joe Stone Crabs, the infamous, world-famous Joe Stone Crabs in Miami. Was able to get to a table pretty quick. Enjoyed a little bit of... I didn't have stone crabs. I enjoyed the grouper. Cream spinach, which I'm not even a big fan of, but it was great. Brussels sprouts with a nice little glaze and some bacon on it. That was fantastic. And, man, I also had a mashed potato... Or actually, they do like a mashed potatoes kind of thing, but it's really called hash browns. So it's like burnt and chopped, almost like hash browns. Delicious. Like loaded with butter and salt, man. So it's actually really good stuff. So that was fun. Expensive dinner among four people, $300 for the table, pretty much. Things like that. It was quite an interesting event in all. And I'm back doing the show. I didn't get a chance to watch Raw from Monday night. I'm going to try to catch up with it when I can. I did watch Dynamite tonight. Did not watch NXT. I'm at the point where NXT is like, yeah, if I want to see the same thing over and over, that's fine. Like, I can look and see what the results are, but am I going to go back and look at NXT and really like, wow? I don't know so much. I mean, it is getting to be the same thing over and over. Like, I know they had some stuff going on, and, they're having 2 cage matches next week. Like, really, there's a point where NXT, they're trying to do as best they can to try to hold that audience on. Because the go-home show for Revolution tonight, which we're going to talk about Revolution tonight, is very interesting. Just saying. So we'll talk all about that as well. In the meantime, let's get into what's going on. WrestleMania 36. There have been changes being made right now for the card. We're going to go through and see what they're talking about when it comes to the card. But I don't know. I don't know what to think right now. By the way, remember to go and bookmark the show here, you can now find us at WrestlingIsreal.com. I still need to go and move the full site over and get that set so I can get everybody all there, so you can find the show easily there anytime you want. And KingofPodcasts.com will be a different page altogether. But you'll still be able to find a link to the show. That I will make sure to do. Now, back to this. All right. As we said, a lot of changes being made to the card of WrestleMania 36. Let's talk about it. Taking it from WrestlingNews.co. According to Paul Davis, some of the original plans for the WrestleMania 36 card has been scrapped in the last few days, including plans for at least one major match. Here's what we got so far. Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer radio program, he says every match on the SmackDown side, quote, has changed or is in danger of changing. Now, what could happen is, instead of the original plan of Universal Champion Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns, we might see Roman Reigns against Goldberg in a spear versus spear match. Interesting. And then another match, John Cena versus Elias, is no longer happening. WrestleVotes reported last week that new matches were being considered, and the other match could be John Cena taking on Bray Wyatt for the Universal title. That will be the idea. But what could actually happen is the idea that Meltzer noted this, and then they also said that there's what could be happening as well is Goldberg might be winning the Universal title this Thursday or tomorrow as I record this show, or now tonight. Tonight as I record this show on Super SmackDown or Super Showdown. I'm going to keep doing that. Watch. So Super Showdown, they think Goldberg's going to win the belt over Bray Wyatt. Another planned match they're saying now is for the Women's Championship. It's Naomi. Oh, the other match that was scrapped was Naomi challenging Bayley. That match is now going to be taking place Thursday at Super Showdown. So WrestleMania looks like this at the moment. For the WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre will defend against Brock Lesnar. For the Universal title, they're saying it's Goldberg, expected to be the champion by this point, against Roman Reigns. For the NXT Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair will challenge the champion, Rhea Ripley. Becky Lynch will defend the Raw Women's title versus Shayna Baszler. Edge will take on Randy Orton. AJ Styles will take on The Undertaker. And John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Then you'll have a Women's WrestleMania Battle Royal, the Honor to the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and the Women's Tag Team titles defended at the moment by the Kabuki Warriors. That's the plan. So they're saying there can at least be 6 women's matches planned, so one more women's match will be added, and probably at least a couple of title matches added, Tag Team, IC, and US. Now, do you want to tell me why these matches sound so good? John Cena Bray Wyatt is a good matchup. And probably the chance where John Cena wins. I mean, will they have Bray Wyatt take on John Cena without the belt? John Cena takes on Bray Wyatt in the new gimmick. And John Cena wins again? Because if you're going to have Bray Wyatt lose the belt again, it's just like a couple years ago, remember? Bray Wyatt wins Elimination Chamber, gets the belt, drops it, and Bray Wyatt's character, the original Eater of Worlds, is destroyed. Are we going to do the same thing again? Is that really what they want to do? I don't know why. I don't get the logic behind it. I don't see what the real end game is. I just think that maybe they're feeling the Bray Wyatt character is not doing enough. Maybe it's not really picking things up. And the company doesn't want to keep putting money and time behind the creation of this character. They don't want to develop this character anymore. And that maybe all the effort they put into it was for naught. And they want to give up on it. Scrap it because it takes too much. Too much time, too much money, too much effort. And they're not really getting the payoff they wanted. And they can always re-evolve Bray Wyatt into something else. But when they keep doing that, he just becomes like a Madonna. Like the singer Madonna, who just was able to change her career and still stay relevant, but will never be a main event. Like Bray Wyatt had the opportunity to really be strong. And I don't think they want to do that. I think they're going to avoid that. So that card right there still looks rough. John Cena, Undertaker. I mean, look at how many older stars you have and how many stars you have to really build up to get. I mean, the older stars are on the male side. The men's side, you got Brock, who's 40, and he's been out there for a long time. Goldberg, who's 50-something. Roman Reigns might get the rub here because of spear versus spear, and Roman Reigns would get the win. But it doesn't mean anything for Roman Reigns in the long run. It really doesn't. And nobody's asking for that match either. And who are you going to cheer for in that match, right? Unless Goldberg turns heel. That's the only way it could work. If Goldberg gets cocky and thinks Roman Reigns is shit for using the move, you could play that story up and go spear versus spear, right? But, I mean, you're going to have to build Goldberg as a heel pretty quick. Heat him up pretty bad. I don't know what you do to do that. I don't know what they could do. Roman Reigns is being rehabilitated enough to let him be put into the mix, and they could do something with him like this. I could see that happening. Now, Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar is your main event. I think just the story of that, and they really haven't done much with Drew McIntyre. They just threw him in with MVP, and that's it, right? I didn't see what happened on Raw this week, so I can't speak about what happened. But I'll go ahead and pull up the results so I can go ahead and talk about what actually happened. In the full context of things, I still like Drew McIntyre, and I like in a real perfect world, I think they should let him take the Rock. He should get the title and get a chance to do something. So in the meantime, did I miss anything from Raw Monday night? Randy Orton is interrupted by Kevin Owens, so we're going to split those off. Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, okay. Ricochet and Drew McIntyre are all tag teaming out pretty much. And Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come out to address. So no real confrontation, just talk. Aleister Black, Eric Rowan. Oh. Drew McIntyre didn't get a sit-down interview with Charlie Caruso. Okay. Now, the interview, I need to go and watch that, see how that was. Bobby Lashley over R-Truth. Women's Elimination Chamber match was signed a contract for all of them? Oh, God. Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Natalya, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, and Sarah Logan. That's the match? Oof. And they're doing that now. Yeah, I guess they have to because it's coming up. And then you had the matches with the Street Profits split up. Look, somebody said Montez Ford's going to be a big star. Okay. Street Profits they're charismatic. They have Usos charisma. They have New Day charisma. But they truly are wallowing in the mire of that right there. I don't feel like they've really put themselves out to be any much more than a new version of Crime Time. I really feel like that. Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, yeah, okay, really, there's nothing about pimping, nothing about street, nothing about profits. Like, the name doesn't mean anything. It did in NXT. But this gimmick, it's something else here. And they don't use them in the ring that much. They use them more backstage. Got it. But, Montez Ford acting like a preacher, all this kind of stuff does only so much. And some of it actually runs flat. So they're not consistently funny. They're not consistently engaging. They're not consistently everything. They are corny a lot of times. They can be that too. It doesn't work for me. They're not getting there yet, and I don't know why, but it's something there. No one's fresh match. Never saw it, I think, at all. But again, that's just something they put there to kind of put a little bit of change up because they just can't keep going with Rollins and Owens and Joe. And now Joe is hit with the suspension. We talked about that he was going to possibly get the wellness policy suspension. He got it, 30 days. Other than that, pedestrian Raw. 2.2 million viewers, by the way, went bad. So you had to kind of sort of build up for Super Showdown. You had to kind of sort of build up for Elimination Chamber. You had to kind of sort of build up for WrestleMania. So the things that they have in the way of WrestleMania really hurt and take away the real mystique and the spectacle that is WrestleMania. The way they have to haphazardly build all these different shows. And they don't have any time to really build anything else because they have to put things out there because the Saudi show, they have to satisfy that audience. So, yeah, we can move WrestleMania matches over. These are the kind of things they do. And it sucks because there's nothing else they can do. Like, it's a bad spot for them. They continue to just move along and say, okay, let's just make these changes just for the sake of changes. There's no real rhyme or reason to it at all. Right? Back to Vince here in the story. So you have all these changes. The other thing that people are talking about is that in the middle of all this going on, there are a lot of things happening when it comes to several stars looking to be leaving the company, because we do have some free agents on the way. Now, Lance Archer signed with AEW this week. Lance Archer has been doing very well over in New Japan. Also did some work in Ring of Honor. So that relationship was there for him. It went well. Remember, for a while in New Japan, that was Davey Boy Smith Jr. that teamed up with Lance Archer. And Lance Archer made a name for himself. He's gotten himself as a pretty good star. Now, he's coming to AEW. Now, you also have the word the Revival might be coming possibly to AEW or somewhere else. So here's what's going on. Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder's latest trademark founds add fuel that are going to be leaving AEW when their WWE contracts expire in a couple of months. They have trademarked the name Top Guys, a name that had been referred to themselves at times in NXT and on the main roster. So they could be calling themselves the Top Guys. They also trademarked Say Yeah and No Flips, Just Fists. They have also retained the services of the same trademark lawyer that handles trademarks for Cody Rhodes, Jon Moxley, Lance Archer, and others in AEW. Very interesting, folks. Very interesting. The other name we're hearing about as well is Matt Hardy. And the word they're trying to say right now is where Matt Hardy, they're trying to say that he might actually stay with WWE, but he would not stay on the main roster. They would move him to NXT. So most likely, Matt Hardy wants to do the broken gimmick. He hasn't let that go. He wants to continue to do that. He does not want to play Hardy Boys 1999. I understand that, and I can appreciate that. And he's still got room left in the tank for his career. So he can either move himself and become the leader of the Dark Order under a broken universe once again, which would really elevate the Dark Order, right? Even create some kind of a mutiny between them, because then Stu Grayson and Evil Uno will feel threatened. Or there might be some kind of a, palace intrigue, if you will, in the ranks. And then Matt Hardy could do NXT and become Broken Matt. But what would that mean? That would mean nothing. Just putting him there to satisfy them and take a big paycheck, is that really going to help him at all? No. And why does Matt Hardy need to go down there? I mean, I know some people are starting to think that NXT feels like it's about the same level as SmackDown and Raw. And is it? I don't know. I think people want to just go there because the work is better. The work rate's better. They're allowed to be able to move like they want, flippity-floppity. That's what they want. I think Finn Balor wanted to go back to what he did. Enjoy himself down there, work with his friends. I think Finn Balor would like to go and work back where he's at now. I mean, there's other guys that probably would want to work in NXT because the way it works and the schedule works better for them. And that could very well be true. Because NXT, so most of those stars, you don't see them on the road. No. At takeovers, are they coming to Florida on the road? Absolutely not. That's developmental talent. They're trying to work hard to get in. But really, how many of the younger stars do you see now in NXT? You don't. You absolutely don't. We have the stars that have been building up. Velveteen Dream, Bianca Belair. Anybody else? Not really. Anybody that isn't polished or really has a long decorative career? Nope, they're not getting that either. They're not getting that at all. That's what it is. NXT, by the way, I saw they're going to do 2 steel cage matches. Tegan Knox against Dakota Kai. And Velveteen Dream against Roderick Strong. Wow. Overkill on the matches. Okay. So I didn't get a chance to see Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and their match. I'll try to see if I can catch that later. See what goes on. Anyways. So I look at all this happening here, and I'm really feeling like, man, there's just not much going on. There's no real in-ring returns. There is one right now they're talking about where we might see Trish Stratus coming back and celebrating. But is that going to mean much? Probably not. Anything else? No, not really. No, the real deal, Holyfield, what's really happening right now, let's just be honest with everybody right now, okay? Let's really say it like it is. Wrestling is real. All Elite Wrestling right now, going into Revolution, is doing some of the best big-time wrestling out there today. Look at that card they have this weekend. Coming up Saturday, after Super Showdown, right? Let's look at the card, Super Showdown, before I get to Revolution and AEW. All right. Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet. Brock Lesnar's going to win in a landslide. Bray Wyatt versus Goldberg. I think Goldberg does win the Universal title in that match. New Day versus John Morrison and The Miz. I say Morrison and Miz take tag team titles. Take them on the WrestleMania. Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin in a steel cage match. I give it the Reigns. The Tuwake Mountain Trophy Gauntlet match. Andrade, Bobby Lashley, Eric Rowan, AJ Styles, R-Truth, Rey Mysterio. I think Andrade wins it. Raw Tag Team title. Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy against Street Profits. I say it's Seth and Buddy. Bayley versus Naomi in the women's title match. For the SmackDown side, I'll give it to Naomi to win. And then you have Humberto Carrillo versus Angel Garza. Ugh. Over and over and over again. Mansoor versus Dolph Ziggler. That's just a quick shot match, and Mansoor will probably get the upset victory. Pre-show match, Viking Raiders versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Oh. Have you seen how quickly the Viking Raiders and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson mean absolutely nothing? Pre-show match. Viking Raiders, the push is over. Done. They've given up. I mean, and AOP don't even wrestle. Not that much. They don't know what to do with big guys anymore. They don't know what to do with a lot of different guys. WWE doesn't know what they're doing. They're in a bad spot right now, and it's really pitiful what they're going through right now. AEW Revolution, you get Chris Jericho. Look at the card they have and what they have been able to build. Now, yes, Pac and Orange Cassidy, they just put together tonight. That was fun. I actually like the bunny against Orange Cassidy and the flipping of the glasses to the bunny ears. I thought was funny. AEW Women's World Title, Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander. I think, listen, Statlander's the top contender. They put the setup. Nyla Rose, fresh off the victory from Riho, and dominant. And I don't know how Nyla Rose doesn't win this match. I think she wins, but I think Statlander has a great showing. They've done a pretty good job with a mid-card match like a Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin. 2 stars on the rise. Darby Allin's character, they've really done a good job of... I don't think they put a major emphasis in the match, but there's been enough nuances and stuff where they've really built it up. The index, these used to be the flashcards, right? The what do they call those? Yeah, the big billboard signs, right? The signs, the attack on Allen and Garza getting his comeuppance. That's a good feud they're putting together. I enjoy that a lot. They put more into that tonight. And then you had Jake Hager going up against Dustin Rhodes. That's been an easy story to tell. The infamous where Dustin Rhodes got his hand busted in the car in the limo. And Jake Hager has been dodging. And Jake Hager finally has his first official match with AEW. Great. I want to see where Jake Hager comes in now as the big hurt. I want to see what the character becomes. If he's going to have the same work rate, different look, different gear. I want to see what they're going to do with Jake Hager. I want to see what it becomes. Because, it's just like the Matt Morgan change when it came to TNA. And then TNA decided, okay, here's the big guy. Let's put him out there. What will Jake Hager be? I think he gets a little more of the MMA look to him. And there's a lot of mat wrestling in the match. So I think that goes on with him and Dustin Rhodes. But I think Dustin Rhodes takes the victory. Oh, no. Jake Hager wins it. But Dustin Rhodes will put a big fight up. Good story being told with the Elite. Omega and Page versus the Young Bucks. AEW World Tag Team titles. They had a great interview segment on the show, on the Dynamite tonight. They've been playing up. Hangman Page has been the odd man out. A lot of friction, a lot of tension going on there. It will culminate there at Revolution, and that's good. Because we're all going to wait for the heel turn of Adam Page or something else, but that's what's going to happen. And I think the Bucks win, Omega and Page, there's a split, and Page will break off, and the Elite will be minus a member. That's where I think things go. MJF, accompanied by Wardlow versus Cody, one of the best feuds of the year. And by the way, it has been since November. Realize that. It's been a 4-month feud. It hasn't felt like it. It felt like it's been longer. They have packed so much into this feud. And MJF is coming in such a piece of shit. The stipulations they put out to make it impossible for Cody to win were very well done. Every segment was well done. MJF has been spectacular in his promos. Cody has been even more spectacular in his promos. This is a match we all want to see. We are all paying our money, our hard-earned money, to see MJF get the shit kicked out of by Cody. Fantastic. Chris Jericho versus Jon Moxley. The weigh-ins tonight, Gary Michael Capetta, the world's most dangerous announcer, coming out, was fantastic. I'm going to listen to him again. Announced him the competitors. I got to go watch all that again. And Capetta hasn't lost his voice. He sounds just as good. I always thought Capetta was a great announcer, man. I don't know why they never use him much anymore, but I'm glad he came out. I hope they get to use him more. I hope they get him to use him more, not just Justin Rogers, but like for the real legacy kind of stuff. I'd love to see Gary Michael Capetta come back. That's great stuff. Like that. Now, Jericho Moxley. So we know the story was, after all was said and done, after Hangman Page lost his shot against Jericho, Moxley was set in line to go ahead and be number one contender, and he was. And then Moxley, the story has so many different storylines into it. Like the Count of the Revolution told it so well. You go back, Moxley, come join the Inner Circle. No, the car, the build up to that. And then Moxley says yes, and then fuck you, and moves along. And then the attack and the revenge of the Inner Circle with the I guess, what was it? The spike to the eye. So we have that. Then you have Ortiz get attacked, eye for an eye. And then the weigh-in tonight and the pull apart, which looked really good, was fantastic. We are here now. This is WrestleMania type booking. It is. Look, you can say whatever you want. I'm talking to all my podcast brethren. You can talk all of my fellow podcasters that are big WWE fanboys. You can say what you want about how you feel about AEW being an inferior, smaller product. Go ahead, to your heart's content. Say what you want. But let me get in front of this microphone real close and tell you, AEW is doing a much better job of storytelling, of booking matches, and giving great television than WWE. Take it, it's the gospel. It's the truth. I'm going to say it. AEW is doing a better job right now than WWE. The only thing that says it's not are the ratings and the revenue. That's it. AEW clearly has the momentum now. AEW clearly has the more popular, more trendy, more viral product. That is the brand that more wrestling fans are talking about than WWE. They're just holding a pay-per-view, of which they only do 4 a year. So this one is special. After All In, this has been a while since we waited for another pay-per-view. Remember, we had November 9th for Full Gear. And now we're here, and then we have to wait till Memorial Day weekend for Double or Nothing. And I'm telling you, the anticipation, the build for these pay-per-views are fantastic. The television show is getting better and better every week. Dynamite tonight with a damn handicap match to start off with Pac and Omega was off the charts good. Okay? Off the charts good. I kid you not. It's so damn good. I don't even know how they put it all together so well, but they do. Really, really great stuff. They're just doing it better. They're just doing it better, period. I don't know what to tell you, but they're just doing such a damn good job. Really good stuff. So impressed. The Wednesday Night War is not even it's not even close. AEW is now going to be pulling away. And AEW they're going to be another WCW. They're going to be another threat. I believe it now. And WWE is not doing enough or anything at all to change that. And I'll tell you like this now. I can safely say, going into the end of February, and we've been going at this for 6 months, I didn't know AEW would have this much momentum to make themselves be this competitive. But look at all they've done in 6 months as a TV promotion. They have run lean, mean. They have been successful in many different ways. They had to overcome NXT. They've done that. They're going to get their new program. They're putting a lot of time out there. They're continuing to put the effort on social media very well. They're doing everything right. This show, Revolution, will outshine Super Showdown. That's not even a question. And for those wishful thinking WWE fans out there, for my fellow podcast brethren that want to continue to hope and dream and pledge and feel there's a chance that the company's going to do something right, AEW is doing it right. They're just putting out a better show than Raw or SmackDown. Bar none. Hands down. It's not even a question, in my opinion. So I, again, support AEW. Now, I think they're doing a better job than WWE. Right now, they are, period. It only took 6 months for AEW to get themselves planted, and now there's room to grow. This is the only thing they have to worry about. They're not even have to worry about WWE at the moment because, trying to avoid WWE from taking them down. Well, they succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. They did. They totally did. At this point for AEW, for All Elite Wrestling, they just need to continue to stay the course, continue to keep doing things to keep trying to grow their audience because their audience base has room to grow. Keep doing this great programming and wrestling fans will flock to you. And people will eventually get tired of seeing the same old in WWE. To go ahead and, what's going to happen? I'm telling you what's going to happen after the little bit of shine of Randy Orton and Edge. What's going to happen after Undertaker goes away after beating AJ Styles? Will there be enough of Drew McIntyre being champion to really make people not think about Brock Lesnar? Will Roman Reigns beating Goldberg, will that matter enough to make Roman Reigns a top star? Making Goldberg win the Universal title and then Roman Reigns winning it off of him on SmackDown, yeah, that would help that show a lot. But then who do you put him up against? I mean, you got to ask yourselves that. What's really out there? What's really rock star, superstar, everybody wants to watch? Everybody's got to go. Like, what must-see star is there right now? There isn't. Not a one. And that's a bad spot for them. That's where they are. They're stuck. They're in a horrible position. I don't know what to tell you there. Anyway, let me go to the card. So, AEW Revolution this Saturday. I will do a post-show Saturday night where I will review Revolution and I will review Super Showdown. Review those shows. We'll talk about that then. So take that into the bank and remember to come back for Saturday night for the post-show for both shows. We'll talk about that. I mean, to predict for Revolution is tough. Very tough. Okay. Pac beats Orange Cassidy. That's got to be a squash. Nyla Rose will retain the Women's World title over Kris Statlander. I think Sammy Guevara gets the win over Darby Allin. I think Jake Hager beats Dustin Rhodes. I think Young Bucks win the tag team titles and Omega and Page split up and Page turns heel. I'll say, oh, man. Yeah, MJF over Cody. I mean, Cody is not going to hurt from a loss. Cody is God. He is the biggest star there. WWE would have never done what Cody's been able to do in All Elite Wrestling on his own. Couldn't be done. That crowd in Kansas City was white hot tonight. They were in it for everything. That Page Omega match was on fire. That crowd was fantastic. If AEW keeps getting crowds like that every Dynamite and every pay-per-view, forget about it. That's all you got to talk about. Yeah, okay. Yeah, show the empty arenas. I don't think I see those much anymore. Have you? I look on Twitter all the time. I don't see anybody putting up that many anymore. I think those arenas are starting to get a little bit better. I mean, they didn't probably fill out State Farm Arena in Atlanta, but they probably got a good 2/3 of it filled. They must have gotten over 10,000. But they can probably start filling 5,000 seat arena, 6,000 seat arenas. They'll definitely get Vegas filled. I think they'll be able to fill that up. They're doing it. Keep on going. They might be cheap seats, but hey, man, if it gets people to the dance, they're going to go and pay for their money, pay for the concessions, pay to see these stars, and go do it, man. So MJF over Cody. And here's the thing I got to worry about. I don't think All Elite Wrestling will do this, but you know what? With the Inner Circle, what will they do with Jon Moxley to make him overcome? Because you could see Proud and Powerful interfere. You could see Guevara come out after his match to interfere. You can see Jake Hager do the same thing. Like, what will happen to Moxley to overcome and be able to beat Jericho? Will it be a one-on-one? Or will there absolutely be some kind of plunder that goes on during the match? And I think they're going to probably do the plunder in here in this match. I don't know. And they could definitely do that with Cody and MJF. We saw the Wardlow-Cody match last week in the steel cage. So plunder's going to be there, but are they going to play it right? And they probably will. They've actually been really good at, kind of injecting certain things into certain things, right? The way they did the tag team battle royal was great. The way they did the match with the Iron Man match, a little bit of the gimmick matches, they need to pull back on that. But they're doing different things, man. It's not the same thing every week. And there's a lot of freshness to the product. It doesn't get old, it's not getting stale. It's not. They're doing a really damn good job. Interesting, I got to watch Impact Wrestling this week because, again, I have a whole lot to catch up because I had to go to Benzinga, the Cannabis Conference. Interesting story I haven't had a chance to look at yet, which I got to talk about now. Don't know if you read about this, but Impact Wrestling, they're doing a legendary wrestling match next week's show. So for the Impact World title, it's going to be defended. Tessa Blanchard will defend against Taya Valkyrie the world title of the brand, not the women's knockout title, the Impact World Championship. Tessa Blanchard, Taya Valkyrie. It's been traditionally a men's title, but it's the top title in the company, and they're going to have two women battling it out for that belt. That's amazing. That's wow. And listen, I get it. Valkyrie, 377-day title reign as Knockouts champion. That's great. It's impressive. So that's next Tuesday's Impact Wrestling. I mean, that's wow. Holy crap. Man, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm very interested. What a fascinating show they're going to have next week on Impact Wrestling. Like I said, we're going to have a lot to talk about in the post show for Revolution and Super Showdown. So we're going to keep this short tonight. We're going to come back. We'll do the post show coming up Saturday right here on the Wrestling Whisperer podcast. Thanks for listening in, finding the show, downloading it, subscribing to where you can find it. You'll hear all about that with the big voice in just a moment. So come back this Saturday for the Wrestling is Real podcast because wrestling needs us.
Thank you for listening to the Wrestling is Real podcast, brought to you by KingofAmazon.com. For more information on how to subscribe to the show, how to share the Wrestling is Real podcast to listeners like you, and check out the latest wrestling headlines, go to WrestlingIsReal.com. That's WrestlingIsReal.com.